welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks, and we're on Kunis, and I'm in the Skoda T50. Yeah, Skoda T50. And it was one of my final games, in the sense before I've completed it. It's now an elite tank, the Skoda T50, along with the 50TP, the Polish Tier 9 heavy tank, and the... what's the other one? The Object 704, which I have all managed now elite. So that is another couple of lines completed, and I have some thoughts on the whole business of it and how I did during the Elysian process that I might make a video about in the near future. However, there's also I'm not going to comment much in this video on the true vision test, which they combine with plus or minus one matchmaking. I have some thoughts on that, and I'm going to talk about it in a separate video. In this particular one, I just want to look at this tank. It's a tank that took me a while to get used to it. It's very fragile, really. It's quite a large tank. Relatively easy to spot and relatively easy to damage. I wouldn't be very confident, for instance, taking this tank into a gunfight against light tanks, for instance, because it's much easier target to hit, and it's quite a big machine. Now, I can be almost certainly seen from over here. Don't know about the guys hiding behind the bushes, but they should be pushing, I think, more aggressively along the A line. If you're going to make progress on this side of the map, that's the way to go. You don't probably initially want to make too much progress, but you don't want to be hanging around over here either, because you're not actually having much of an effect on the battlefield. You need to be shooting at enemy tanks. Like that guy, everybody should be on him as soon as he sticks his nose out. He shouldn't be just targeted by me. He should be targeted by every tank along the row. And at least 3 of them should be shooting at him, and that's how people lose these kind of corner fights, because when they stick their nose out, they're sticking their nose out against multiple tanks. There's usually 2 or 3 tanks that are targeting them, and one of them nearly always invariably gets a hit. Instead, our tanks are in positions where they're not actually doing shooting. Hang on a second now. The Tortoise out. Again, the Tortoise should be dead by now. There's what, 5 tanks up here? There's actually 6 tanks with a line of sight, besides myself. I mean, I did fire at him and get some shots in, but there was other tanks should have had line of sight on them as well, and they should be looking for the opportunity to do stuff like that. Now, the Uzi is not going to last too long, because he's not taking as much. He's been tracked, and now that he's been tracked, he's pretty much doomed. However, is that Tortoise still alive? Yes, the Tortoise is still alive and it's not dead yet. In fact, yes, it only dies now from the artillery. The bloody artillery killed it. Nothing else. So that's astounding, really. Because if they're up here and they're not in a position to actually kill stuff, what are they doing? You go into positions to kill stuff. And then, you see, going from one extreme to the other, they were in a position to kill stuff, and now you have 2 light tanks starting to drive into a crossfire. Which is no good either. You don't want to be doing that sort of stuff. Now, they didn't track the T-30, or if we did, he repaired his tracks. Front of a Centurion at extreme range beyond my capability to target him. Could have gone anywhere. There's a mob wrecker decided to look for something to do. Now, I think he should have been just steadily driving up along the thing. He and positioned himself better. That the T-30 still alive as well. And again, yes, see, we've our medium tank has now driven into the middle of the enemy and is just yellowing after the artillery. Again. Surrounded, outnumbered. and it's just not worth it. That's not an exchange that's worth it. He's got now 3-4 tanks between him and he's still after the artillery. And he didn't get the artillery either to finish. Yep, he's dead. And the artillery's still alive. So we're 4 tanks down at the moment, and 3 of those were voluntary donations to the enemy. Literally, like, they were just handed themselves on a plate to the enemy, like, to kill, without any effect in return. Now we've managed to claw back a couple of kills, so there's only 2 between us. But you know that's not good enough, lads. Need to do better. So I'm waiting for my reload here. Okay, so we're nearly reloaded. Let's push out and see if we can see something and do something about this. There's 4 minutes left in the game. I didn't quite realise how bad things were at this point in time. But it looks to me like a lot of the tanks that were out here are either dead, or they're moving south to engage our allies to the south, where we're still kind of positionally we're not badly off. We're just 2 tanks down, and you know, if we can kill a couple of tanks and not actually die, kill a couple of tanks and not actually die, we might hold on. So that's we're still 2 tanks down. We managed to lose a tank somewhere. Guys to the south were probably just headbanging against tanks directly in front of them, so they're don't have a shot on the Centurion 7-1. I think those are artillery bouncing off the building. That orange flash that I saw earlier on. We're 4 tanks down again. We've just lost the south completely. One of the southern medium tanks is now wandering north through the thick of the enemy. Here is Stone Cold, Steve Austin. It's kind of funny because every time I think of Steve Austin, really I think of the Bionic Man. $6 Million Man from the TV series from the 1970s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 1970s. Although it was probably late 1970s when I saw it, because you know it was American first. However, here's our medium surrounded by 3 enemy tanks, and instead of driving towards allies, he's holding his ground where he can be shot at and nobody can assist him. And around the corner we go. We get the Indian Panzer. We get a shot in. We get 1 shot in, and despite the fact that my reticle isn't red, I should have had a go at the cupola there. I probably would have got the shot in anyway. Not sure why it wasn't looking on the target. However, it's now less than 2.5 minutes. There's no way I'd cap, even if I was left. There's what, 5 tanks around me. I wouldn't actually have time to cap. But I'm not. I'm just driving through the cap circle, because if I stay where I was, I'm going to suffer the same fate as the other medium. I'm going to get surrounded and killed. Whereas up here, they're going to have to come at me, and they're going to have to come at me with allied guns behind me. And in fact, the only way they can lose the game is if they all come at me enough that we have a chance to kill them. Because 1 minute 44, we're not going to win. It's actually their game to lose by trying hard to win harder. Ironically enough, because again, they cannot lose as long as they finish up with a tank alive at the end of this. So we managed to get 1 into the E75. He's pushing forward as well. And I come around the corner here now. I make a mistake here. I shouldn't have auto-aimed that one. I should have done this twice. And that would have gotten me a kill. I don't think it would have made any difference, because I'd still have had to do the reload, and he got killed anyway by the artillery. And there is, what, 4 of us left. And there's 4 enemy tanks, and we don't know where most of the enemy tanks are, except for the Conqueror, whom we have now whittled down a bit. He's not dead yet. He's managed to damage me a little bit more. Conqueror is gone. Or is he? He's not. No, he's still alive. He's just taking a heavy hit though. On the other hand, the 2 allied tanks with me are dead. So it's just me and the artillery. And less than 30 seconds left. The Conqueror's coming after me. The light tank has been seen and further back. We've taken him out. Light tank decides the game's over. I don't need to win. The artillery's making a run for it. And yeah, we're not going to win the game. It's going to be over before we get to do any more. And there's still 2 enemy tanks that I have no idea where they are. Since that I don't know where that tank destroyer is, and I don't know where the enemy artillery is. And I've only got the vaguest idea where the enemy light tank is. And the light tank probably could take me, as long as if I see him coming, I might have a chance of getting a shot into him. But no, it's all over anyway. So we got a high caliber, 5,880. It's not the highest damage I've ever done, but I think it's probably the highest damage in this tank. Number 1 by experience. That Batchat artillery did well as well, over 3,000 damage and 5 kills. Yeah, I mean, a couple in our team did fairly well. It's just, yep, bottom of the team. Bottom of the team is where the problem is. Anyway, I hope you found it interesting. Thank you for watching, and catch you all again soon. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. Really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.